Hi everybody, my name is Shane Sauer with Blue Wing Title Agency. I'm here with our Real Estate Minute. I'm here with Drew Fickel from Good Oak Real Estate. Drew, thank you for coming on with us
Thanks
today.
for having me, man. I appreciate
It's
it.
gonna be fun. I'm just gonna grill you. How about that?
Dude, go for it.
Awesome. Well, let's start out with this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into real estate, where you're from, all that good stuff.
Okay. So I'm actually one of, I think, like 5 native Arizonans. Like everybody else is from somewhere else, but I'm actually from here. I grew up in Tucson. My dad was a fireman. We grew up on acreage. First thing I ever drove was a tractor. So I've got some down-home roots in me, but I now live in suburbia and raise my kids there. And I spent 30 years in corporate America, and I just found myself like in a transition spot, like in my early 50s. And a buddy of mine was in real estate. He's like, Drew, like, get your real estate license. And I did.
Just like that. Do you miss corporate America?
There's parts of it I do miss. Towards the end, I had a pretty big team, and I was a global like vice president. So I had teams all over the world, which was challenging but really cool. But I don't miss being on call 24/7. So still have a little bit of that in real estate, but it's different.
Right. What do you enjoy most about what you do in real estate?
Honestly, it really boils down to just serving people. And even in my corporate life, I was always looking to develop the next tier of talent to help my customers through whatever they were going through. So now it's a little more intimate. I have a P&L personally, but that's not what drives me, to where in the corporate world, that it tends to be a focus.
Absolutely.
You know? So I think just being able to hear people, what's going on, what they're trying to do, and just step in and be that advocate. Because in real estate, everybody thinks we hang a for sale sign and show houses, but there's a couple other things that we do too.
Just one or two, right?
Yep.
So that leads into this question. What is the most important thing you do when representing a buyer or seller?
Motivation, like understanding what's behind this transaction. A lot of people are moving because they want to. A lot of people are moving because they have to. And whatever the reason is behind that having to, it's really important for me to know what that is, so that as we approach the buyer to sell, like I have that top of mind. Because if it's elective, then there's a different level of pressure. If it's mandated because of whatever life circumstances there are, it's different, and you've got to like work within that.
There is a huge difference.
Absolutely. So it's really important for me to understand what they're trying to do and the why behind it. And I try to keep that top of mind as I'm going through the entire transaction process.
Excellent. Well, can you walk us through what the typical transaction when they work with Drew? How does that look? What does that entail?
Well, first of all, there's no typical.
Let's start with that.
It's funny because you hear that all the time, that like no two transactions are the same. And it's very true. You could have the same square footage, the same price point, and the transaction is completely different from the last one. So for me, the most important thing, as I mentioned earlier, was just understanding why we're doing this, keeping that in mind, and then I'm very big on communication. So I make sure everybody knows where we're at in the process, what the next thing is. I try not to get too far ahead. My grandmother used to say, don't borrow or worry, because we've got enough for today without borrowing tomorrow's. So I try to keep people away from, oh, well, what happens if, hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well said.
So whether it's buying or selling, it's finding a buyer, finding a house, working through the negotiations of the purchase offer, and then the inspection period, which is always something that people have a lot of anxiety over. And because I've done so many of them, I don't have that same level of anxiety, so I think it helps just 70 things on the inspection report, they might only ask for 3. Like, don't worry about the 70, just focus on the 3 you're asking for.
Probably very easy to get worked up over the,
Oh, absolutely.
all the things you can't control.
And the thing is, there's, especially when you're selling a home, there's a ton of private ownership. And so I try to help diffuse that. It's like, yes, your home is beautiful, it's awesome, but these 3 things are what the buyer wants to change.
Absolutely. How do you, and I know this is it's a big question, so how do you stay informed of changes and things in the industry? Just because it's constantly changing, right?
And whether it's legislative or just traditional, regional, whatever, there's always something that's going on. I think the biggest thing that I do is make sure I surround myself with quality people. So I've got a peer group of agents and brokers that I spend copious amounts of time with, because I'm learning from what they're experiencing that maybe I haven't gone through yet, and vice versa. As part of staying licensed in Arizona, we do 24 hours of continuous education every 2 years. I probably finish that up in like 6 to 9 months. That's for period, but I just keep going. And so the events that you put on, I'll attend, just to help myself stay relevant to what's going on. And there's plenty of podcasts and different things that I subscribe to, just to, I can't do everything all the time because I actually have to show houses and build
There's that.
houses and things like that. But I make it a point to keep myself educated, because it ultimately falls on me to know what's going on.
We've seen so many changes, even the past couple of years, just a lot of changes.
A lot.
And keeping up on that is almost a full-time job, but you have to actually show houses and list them.
You do.
There's other
You have to show up for inspections and things like that.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you being here with us, Drew. Do you have any final words you'd like to say to everybody out there?
I'm appreciative of the time here, and just being able to share with you where I've come from and what I'm doing. And if you have any needs out here in the Phoenix market, please let me know.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.